And we're live. And we're live for another episode of Slaaap Haaapy. That's right, we're here. We're doing it. Welcome back to another episode of Slaaap Haaapy. Had a little break, had a little hiatus. I'd like to say hello to Adis, wherever you are. Basically, I think maybe when I first moved in here, I did a couple of potties. I think we had 3 weeks in a row, maybe in October or November. But it's been a bit of a lean time over the last 3 months or so. So I've decided to give myself a little bit of a break, a little bit of time off. And here I am. I'm back to it. So thank you for joining me. Look, man, I realized something recently. I realized that I was turning the podcast and just all my content into stuff that was essentially being generated for other people, which is fine if that's like the goal, but that was never the goal for like my podcast. Definitely with the trading spaces and things like that. Like I kind of always do in my life, I, shiny object syndrome. So the podcast initially was meant to be for me to talk to me about, or just to kind of document my journey through music and also share some of my music journey. As it turns out, I basically, turn it into this other beast, which again, it's fine, but it's, I just wish I was a little bit more committed to the things that I care about, which is, it's not to say that I don't care about education and trading. I just kind of, I got excited when people started like sharing and liking my stuff. And, I thought that that's what I had to do. I had to like keep providing that content, keep providing that insight, keep being that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Like that's, I'm happy to be that guy on a one-to-one basis, but like having an image as a guy who is meant to be that, it's hard. And I feel like, not to talk shit about teachers out there, but, I think the old adage of like, those who can't do teach is kind of true. Like, I was trading my best when I was saying nothing. I started saying a lot and I started trading worse because I'm now dividing my attention between trying to communicate what I'm doing and seeing and thinking and actually doing it. Like you're splitting your attention. That was not something that I ever wanted to do. It's kind of something that I fell into. No regrets, but it's about time that I switch it up. So I'm going to go back to doing what I love best, being vulnerable, being an idiot, speaking my mind, speaking my heart and talking about things that I'm passionate about, which obviously will include trading, but this is not a trading podcast. This is never meant to be like an educational piece or even an informative piece for the trading community. It became that. I'm not ashamed of that, but that's, not what I want to, it's not going to endure because at the end of the day, like, although I love trading, I am passionate about trading. It's, being an educator in that space is like fucking, it's tough and it's not something that I want to be. I want to be a trader. I want to trade well. Yep, cool. But I want to be a musician. That's where my real passion lies. Doesn't make me any money, but it's where I need to, focus this kind of extracurricular attention on speaking my heart about music and the life that I live outside of trading. So, yeah, here I am. So one thing that's been kind of spinning around and around and around in my head lately is so I've gone back to rereading a book by Russ called It's All in Your Head. And I spoke about this book I did a review of it when I first read it maybe 12 months ago. And I've just recently gone back to rereading it because it is such a fucking powerful tool, this book. It is like literally a little hand guide. And the fact that, you can listen to it in an hour. I listen to it on like 1.6 speed, so you get through it in like fucking like 30 or 40 minutes. So you can listen to the whole book while you're at the gym. And it's perfect because there's so many one-liners. There's so many little pearls of wisdom. It's such a well-written thing. It's something that I totally encourage every artist to read, regardless of how you feel about Russ. I don't think it's relevant. This is a book that, just speaks truths about what it takes to be successful in the music industry. Not just to just to put good numbers up and make a living and, make money and all that shit. Not just that, but to be a wholehearted, well-rounded professional artist. This is what this book is truly getting at the heart of. Like, the accolades and the attention and all that stuff, that's beautiful. Yeah, cool, that'd be nice. But to commit yourself to a path and to a journey and to commit yourself to the idea of I am going to be great at what I do no matter what, and nobody is going to tell me anything differently. That's the important part of this book for me. So going back to reading that a couple of times recently, I just love it. I just love it so much. Last night I ordered the hard copy, so hopefully that comes in the next week or so then I can get in there with my highlighter. Highlight that, highlight that, highlight that. Get in there with my highlighter and take some notes and just kind of further, satiate my soul with good writing and good text. So that's been good. Highly recommend it. You don't just have to be an artist, though. I think it's pretty relevant to almost anyone trying to do anything crazy in their life, trying to work at a goal. I think, his three main principles of delusion, I think persistence I think it's persistence, delusion, persistence, and gratitude. I think those three pillars are essential to be successful in anything in life. Obviously it's through the lens of being a musician, a hip hop artist, but I think it's applicable to anything you're trying to be great at in this life. So highly recommend that book. I went up to Sydney and the Central Coast over Christmas to visit family. It was wild. The last 2 years for Christmas, it's just been an absolute shit show. Obviously, everyone's been going through it, but it was just funny. Last year, it was the Northern Beaches kind of breakout, and I went from basically lockdown to lockdown to lockdown because I was in Melbourne, lockdown like a motherfucker. Then Christmas, we went up to Sydney, lockdown, had to stay there for an extra month, couldn't come back to Melbourne unless we wanted to a quarantine, which is too much money at the time. And then came back to Melbourne eventually just to start another lockdown. So I was a bit of I kind of felt at the time like a bit of a, how there's storm chasers or cyclone chasers and big wave chasers. I felt like a fucking lockdown chaser. I was running up and down the East Coast trying to find me a lockdown. Hey, yo, you got some lockdown? You got some lockdown? Yeah. I was just trying to find a lockdown wherever I went. And I was successful, really successful. Me and Ness, we found them. We just went all over and we found the lockdowns. Kind of got used to it. But so last Christmas, the Northern Beaches kind of break out and the Delta scenario, I think at the time, or maybe not, I don't know. And then, no, I think the Delta thing was mid the year after, whatever. And then, this time the Omicron situation, just fucking cases skyrocketing and, we had a few different issues go on. My brother's girlfriend got it and then I'm pretty sure we all got it. But it was just a wild time and it was really hard to do it exactly how I wanted to do it, which is what it is. But it was kind of cool. We got to move back into my family home, which my parents had been renting out. They had moved to Darwin and around a bit. So we got to move back into the home after 2 or 3, I'm going to say 3 years, 2.5 years. Basically out of the home. We all kind of helped move in and then celebrated Christmas there. And it was just nice to have everyone together for the first time in many, many years. Because my brother James had just moved back from London and, we got to go up from Melbourne. So, it was good to just have everyone back together and just feel like a family again and just feel just kind of be with the people that I love the most. So it was just pretty special Christmas day. Boxing Day was very loose. Got together with all my cousins, and that's always just a fucking wild time. And then ended up doing a few silly things around New Year's Eve and Field Day, but had a lot of fun doing it. I kind of feel like I was probably going to say this earlier, but I kind of feel like I want my podcast to be a little bit like, remember on what was it, Big Brother? How they go into that like diary room and they just, hey, Big Brother, and then they just talk their shit, just bitch about everyone in the room or the house. I want my podcast to be like that again, where I sit down and I just go, hey, Matt, what's up, Matt? And then just like chat to myself for like fucking 20 minutes and then share it with the world. Because really, and this is what I loved about the podcast in the beginning, is that it was me documenting my life and my journey. And I kind of just went away from that for a little bit. Like, not fully away from it, but I was thinking about that more than just doing it, which is, all I ever wanted to do was just do it, just have it, just have my podcast, be my podcast, So I'm back to here. I'm back to being here, and I'm back to doing it. So one of the cool things that happened over Christmas, period, was I got my old golf clubs out, which had been in storage for a couple of years. First time I got to have a hit in 2 or 3 years. I went down to the Everglades, the old Everglades at Woy Woy, had a bit of a whack, and hit the ball pretty good. Realized that I still kind of love golf. Not sure if I'm gonna like get back into it fully, but I definitely want to, I brought my clubs back down with me from Sydney or from Woy Woy, and I'm going to get out and have a bit of a bash at some point really soon, actually. So, I kind of miss it. Kind of, it feels good to fucking hit a golf ball good and to walk around the course and kind of, know what you're doing. The putting and the chipping obviously sucked, but the long game and the iron play was actually pretty good. Like I was hitting the irons pretty good. Found a few more fairways and greens than I anticipated that I would have. I thought I would have been hacking it all over the place, but the swing's still there, which, feels good, hitting a few long balls. So, going to get back into that, which is nice. Just before Christmas, we had we put out the Dutch Boys EP, and that was on the 4th of December. And then on the 10th of December, I think, or the 11th, 10th. 7th, I think, 10th. Anyway, we put on a show at the Laundry Bar in Melbourne, and it's a hip-hop club. It's one of the main reasons that I moved to Melbourne in the first place, just because it's a dope place for hip-hop and live hip-hop, and people, get to network and meet each other. But it was cool to get back into the swing of live music. First time I'd played live in like, nearly 2 years, pretty much 2 years. So it was fucking... Man, it was just so fun to just get back out there and get on the horse, and had a lot of people in the room. We actually ran a really successful event in the end, which I was so, so pleased with. Everyone came through and, made it a really cool night. We got to celebrate the EP. My brothers actually flew down the morning off from Sydney to surprise me, which was, just like blew my mind. I cried like a little baby. But it was just so good to have them there in that room for that moment, because it was a really special moment. It culminated a whole year of making this music and the bullshit that we'd endured in Melbourne through the lockdowns. And it was just nice it was just a very relieving kind of moment to have my family there. So I'll be forever indebted to those guys, Dave and James, for making that effort. It was a massive effort, and it meant a hell of a lot. So, and we had a great night. Everyone was there. We just had a great night. It was a really nice, wholesome night. So the next kind of part of this journey is, there's 2 things, and they're going to be happening this week or next week, depending on when I put this podcast out. Essentially the 3rd week of January. We are putting out the music video, which we shot in late November, and we are putting our Dutch Boys merch on sale online. So we got printed 100 odd shirts that say Dutch Boys for Life. And we shot this music video, which has just been getting edited and finished off and touched up. And both of those things will be live next week. And I can't fucking wait. The music video is just dope. It is so good. Shot and edited by Think Loud Creative, our homies. just the scenes, it's just a really professional music video, and I mean that's all you can ask for when you write a song. You just want something that complements, and we got something that well and truly complements. So can't wait to put that out. It's a really, really good music video, and I think it's one that, like, you know, it's gonna get us the kind of attention we deserve. Like this EP, although it got a bit of love here and there, didn't get, you know, all the way to the top of the love tree that we're anticipating. You know, it would have been nice to get like some Spotify playlists or some, you know, some play on Triple J, or, you know, some blogs write about it. Didn't get any of that. But, you know, happy with all of it. I just feel like this music video will be the thing that will really shine a light on the project, because the project's fucking good. Project's great. The music video is hectic and will really, I think, drive home the point that we made on that EP that was essentially saying, this is really cool music and you can't ignore it. So don't. Quit sleeping, people. So yeah, can't wait to put that out. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to come here and talk my shit. Yeah, feels good. Feels good to get it out. Feels good to just put something down. Hope you liked it. And yeah, you got any more questions or comments or concerns, hit me up. But otherwise, yeah, watch out for that music video. Watch out for that merch dropping real soon. And yeah, I'll speak to you all later.